The great fact is just this, and then finish over the next page where it finishes, make the effort.
Okay. Mark Addict.
Hey Mark.
The great fact is just this, and nothing less, that we have had deep and effective spiritual experiences which have revolutionised our whole attitude towards life, towards our fellows, and toward God's universe. The central fact of our lives today is the absolute certainty that our Creator has entered into our hearts and lives in a way which is indeed miraculous. He has commenced to accomplish those things for us which we could never do by ourselves. If you are as seriously alcoholic as we were, we believe that there is no middle of the road solution. We were in a position where life was becoming impossible, and if we had passed into the region from which there is no return through human aid, we had but two alternatives. One was to go on to the bitter end, blotting out the consciousness of our intolerable situation as best we could, and the other to accept spiritual help. This we did because we honestly wanted to and were willing to make the effort.
Thanks Mark. Over to you Pritesh.
Hi, Pretesh, recovered addict.
Hey Pritesh.
Yeah, very nervous and very fearful of this share. And the old me would run straight to cocaine to block out this fear and try to go over these hurdles. But with a bit of faith and courage, I'm sitting here because the past me that would never happen. Yeah, I think for the last 15 years, I loved drugs. I loved it a lot, and I won't lie about that, to be honest with you. I saw drugs as a way to kind of mask my feelings, or to be this special person, to be kind of come out of my shell. I kind of treated it like a pick and mix of sweets. I would dabble in all types of drugs, from weed to MCAT to pills. But cocaine was kind of the one I kind of landed on. It was my kind of love in some sense, and it stuck with me for numerous of years. So originally, it was good. I'm not gonna lie about it. I actually really enjoyed it. I loved the effects it brought to me. I loved the environments I was doing it. I was partying, and yeah, it became a part of my daily life. Actually, to be honest with you, by that time I still enjoyed it and it was fun. I tried to, as the years passed, I tried to kind of stop, just out of like the thought of stopping, and I used my birthday as like a milestone. So I got to age 25, that never happened, and I could never stop. So I thought, okay, cool, 25, let's have another couple of years went past, and I got to 29, cool, that never happened. 30, I thought that's the milestone, I could stop right there, because it was still fun, but you know what I mean, I'm getting old, people are moving on in life, finish university, people are getting married. I thought I'd give it a try then, and I couldn't stop. And somehow, I think from the age of 30 to 31, I kind of crossed this line, and I don't know when exactly it happened. That fun element actually just disappeared completely. I still kind of enjoyed doing it. I kind of still enjoyed the emotions it brought, how it kind of made me feel good, but I couldn't stop in some sense. I should never kind of bring drugs into my working life, and I always kind of kept drugs separate to my social life, and work totally separate as well. And over the years kind of passed, it slowly started creeping into my working life. And at that time, I thought it was just me, to be honest with you, what's going on. And I didn't even put this as a strategy at that time. But it slowly started creeping into work, etc. It got to a point where I kind of noticed it became a problem. It started to be on a daily basis, from 3 to 4 grams to 7 grams. And the fun element definitely disappeared, and things started getting very dark for me in this sense. So my grandma's passed away. I thought I'd give that a try to stop before her. Didn't work. My spree started getting longer and very dark, like really dark. And I always thought it was just me. Never thought, I usually had control of all my drugs when I was picking mixing, but once I crossed this line, I had no control of it at all. And I couldn't figure out why this was. And I'm very logical. I've got my notes here, which I'm not reading from, but I'm very logical in that sense. And yeah, it used to really like get to me in the sense of why can I not stop? Why can everybody else stop? So yeah, I used to blame the rest of the world, to be honest with you, mother, friends, families, etc. So I started using, and the spree started getting really longer and deeper, to the point where I wouldn't be thinking about cocaine. I'd be watching TV on Netflix or something like that, and the next minute I'd be in my car, in a lay-by, in the dark, and I couldn't figure out why. From watching a TV show, I ended up in my car, in a lay-by, by myself. Who the fuck wants to sit there by himself in the dark? I just couldn't get it. So these sprees started coming quite quicker. These relapse started coming faster. And I just kind of let it carry on, to be honest with you. And this time, yeah, I wanted to stop, but I did it at the same time because I still fucking enjoyed it. Then it got to a point in my life where things started getting a bit tough, and the carnage I was causing afterwards. So I was getting into massive amount of debts. Month in, month out, I was spending thousands. I was borrowing money from my parents, my families, my friends. I was a fucking snake, to be honest with you. I knew how to manipulate people to get what I fucking wanted. And I tell you this, I didn't want to do what I was doing. And at that point, I still didn't know what was going on. I didn't know. I thought something was wrong with me, to be honest with you. So this spree started coming, and the relapse started kind of kicking in. So my father was like quite seriously ill. He was having heart attacks quite often and quite frequently. And a good son should be there, but I would be twisting on the other side of the country, doing drug runs, having cocaine, when I should be sitting there with my father. So this should be the kind of starting point for me where, okay, I want to stop now. My father's gonna die soon. I can see it in his eyes. Twist. I'm off again, sitting in that car park, sitting there for nights all long. I would just be there thinking, why? What has happened to me? And I could still not figure this out. The self-pity started kicking in. I am different. Beating myself up. And do you know what? It was hurting me now. It was really actually tearing me apart, because I didn't want to be sitting in that car. I didn't want to be doing that cocaine. I wanted to spend time with my father. I wanted to be that son. But I couldn't figure out why I'd be doing cocaine, because the fun bit disappeared. It wasn't fucking fun at all. It was dark, it was lonely, it's depressing. So that year went, the spree started happening, and bear in mind, father's dying near enough, and I should be stopping, but I couldn't figure out, and I was causing a lot of hell, to be honest, at home. I got called a monster, and yeah, that cut me up deep. Not even an animal, a monster from my own sister, and that really got to me. And I was trying to explain to them that I don't know what is wrong with me. Something's going in my head where I will be off on one, and I couldn't stop. And trying to explain to parents, family, friends that I seriously don't know what's wrong with me, it's hard. And I didn't know what was wrong with me, to be honest with you. So my father passed away. So I promised him while I was dressing him that I would stop using cocaine. And this is when I was really trying. I've lost a father. Twist. I'm in my room sniffing cocaine while everybody else is grieving for my father. I was really beating myself up like this because I couldn't understand what the fuck was going on with my mind. I was different. I thought in my life I was different, that's why I used cocaine. But at the moment, this time, I thought I was really different. I thought, what's wrong with me? What human being wants to be like this? So he passed, and the relapse started coming. And these relapses started coming really quick, and the spree started getting very dark. I was doing some fucked up shit, to be honest with you. I was trying to be this person, trying to get out of it, but I couldn't see myself getting out with it. I used to do things like bring large sums of money into the house. I'm not talking about 10,000, a lot of money. These consequences that I would not come into my head at all, of bringing hundreds of £1,000s into my house and putting my mother, who has just lost her husband, that thought will not come to my head when I used to take that first line and do these actions. So yeah, I was causing her a lot of harms and borrowing a lot of money, etc. So this is where I started putting some strategies in place. And by the way, all my strategies failed when I did this. Simple as. First strategy, let's move my car to my sister's house, which is 20 miles away. Twist on the train, sniffing coke, walking back home at night, thinking what the fuck has happened to me. I couldn't explain that at all. Okay, let's change my phone number so drug dealers can't contact me, or I can't contact them. But I've already twisted when I thought of this because all the phone numbers are in the cloud. So I get that number anyway. So that didn't work out for me. There's a bit which I want to just quickly read. If he thinks they can do the job in some other way or prefer some other spiritual approach, encourage him to follow his own concessions. Yeah, I went to seek spiritual help, which my mother goes to. And yeah, I didn't believe at all, to be honest, at this time. So obviously I'm going to fucking relapse. One of the sprees I kind of went through, I was up all night, didn't even go to work because I'm lying 24 hours, using my dad's death as a reason not to go to work. But in fact, I was sitting in my car sniffing cocaine in an NCP car park, and the next minute I'm in an ambulance to the hospital because I've just had a fit. So that right there is near enough verge of death, realistically, because one line had that line and I was in the hospital. That should have really stopped me. And at that point, I ceased fighting. I wanted to fucking die. The carnage I caused my friends, my family, my sisters, my mother. They should be grieving with my father, and he only passed away last year. They were always sick about me. I'll be gone for days and days out. So these sprees just carried on, to be honest with you. Just went on and on. I lost the willpower. The self-will of me trying to stop just went, because I tried and I failed, cold as. But I had a little bit of hope in myself, because I didn't want to be this person. I didn't want to be causing this carnage. I didn't want to be hurting people around me. So I went into rehab, checked myself fit. And I love rehab. I actually fucking love rehab. It was great. Food, 24 hours, man, this belly is still there. Do you know what? It taught me some life skills. How to be assertive, relapse trained. And yeah, that was good. And this is the funny bit. One part of the course was to attend a CA meeting. And I'm smiling right now because my first CA meeting, this particular one, I cried my eyes out so hard. I was fucking disturbed so much. I didn't cry at my grand's funeral, my dad's funeral that much. And you know what? It was fucking amazing. I could understand what everybody was on about. That you're gonna relapse, you're powerless. Because I thought I had it in the bag when I was in rehab. I was called Tigger because I was bouncing left, right, centre, man. I thought I had it. So when I stepped into here, everybody's talking about relapse. It's like, what the fuck? So I cried. Yeah, if you saw me, it was good. I that moment was a really good moment for me because someone came up to me and gave me a hug and gave me a phone number, and that's all they did. And because my brain thinks and I want to know what the fuck are they on about, I'm going to relapse again. Who the heck are you to tell me I'm going to relapse and hear everybody's stories? So I reached out to that person and he sat me down and explained the problem of alcoholism, this illness that we suffer from, which takes you to insanity or death. Took me to insanity, definitely. Nearly took me to death. But he kind of explained that to me. And then he gave me the solution, the clear-cut directions, which are listed up there. And I was willing to do this. I was willing to be guided through these steps with open honesty. Don't get me wrong, it was hard when they told me to do the house cleaning. I was like, whoa, I don't want to be doing that. But I look back on all my life, I actually wanted to stop. I would do anything to do I would have done anything, so I follow those steps. And had this spiritual awakening. Because I tell you right now, I was thinking this morning when I had a shit night's sleep, that if someone asked me to share, I would have ran from here. I would have even shown up straight away. And that's a big step because I do not like talking in front of anybody. So it's only because of knowing the problem, the solution, and having that spiritual awakening, I'm sitting here with gratitude. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Thanks, Pretesh. That's brilliant. Thanks.